news that day that there'd been a helicopter go down.
I asked if Sean had been killed, and he said yes.
It didn't seem real. It just couldn't happen.
When we serve a family, we are 100% committed to them.
The family has given me a contract. You paint Sean and bring him home. I think of all the men that he saved.
Well, I've been told that it's like thousands of people he saved.
Very important that we celebrate Sean's life and the sacrifices that he gave.
Here he is, our American hero and your son, Petty Officer First Class, Sean Carson. As an artist, this is the best way I know how to honor America's heroes, to celebrate their lives, and to bring them back home to their families. I'm Phil Taylor. I paint portraits of America's fallen soldiers. Moving and shaking in California, yay.
Artist Phil Taylor is traveling through Northern California on his way to learn about EOD tech Sean Carson, the subject of his next portrait.
EOD is explosive ordnance disposal. These dudes find and remove any kind of device that could explode on the guys behind them. And they're some of the most heroic individuals that could possibly ever volunteer for service.
Phil is meeting Sean's dad and stepmom in Rio Vista, California.
It's all about putting the pieces together, man, and making sure that Pat and Barbie feel like that a guy's coming along to ensure he's not forgotten. How you guys doing?
Great.
Just saw that name as I was
Isn't
walking.
that great?
Yeah, I would say you picked a good ship for us to be on. Thank you.
Just welcome
Awesome.
aboard.
Awesome.
Can I show you around?
That would be fantastic. This is the Delta?
This is the California Delta.
California Delta. And so Sean really was on these waterways with you?
He was, yeah. We come up here, we go anchor out. Should we get underway? And
Yeah,
go-
man.
go
I'm
tour
in your
around?
hands. Let's do
Okay.
it.
This is peaceful, isn't it?
It's very peaceful.
As a family, we've always been into boating and yachting. Sean and I have been planning to buy a boat together and do scuba diving and surfing trips off the coast of California.
Is that right?
During Sean's Afghanistan deployment, we had a regular once-a-week phone call. Although he couldn't talk about exactly what they were doing over there, these conversations consisted mainly of what we were going to do when he got back.
So I know it's always a sensitive subject, but what was the process he had to go through just to become EOD?
It's nonstop. Chemical weapons, nuclear weapons, and they pretty much cover everything that can go boom and cause problems. They got to know what it is, how to defuse it.
What volume of spirit does a man have to be out on point trying to find the bombs?
Yeah.
I find that you've got to be extremely proud of that.
I think he had a level of confidence. He knew what he was doing. He was very good at it.
Sean was involved in several top-secret missions in Iraq in 2009 and Afghanistan in 2011 through 2012.
It's not everybody that achieves that level. We're very proud of him. Phil, would you mind taking this?
Nervously, I will.
All right, come on over here.
Cool. Awesome.
Okay, so you got this?
I got it.
All right.
Got it covered. The EOD is probably one of the most unsung, under-recognized positions within all branches of the military. You can't really fully comprehend how many lives Sean saved because we don't know.
Phil. I got brought Barbie up.
Hi, Phil. Are you driving?
I don't know if you could really claim it to be driving. It's more like surviving. I'm gonna leave it to you now.
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Appreciate
Awesome.
that.
You want to have a seat? Are you okay to have a seat?
Yes.
What was he like as a boy growing up?
Sean had a lot of heart, and he's a very caring person.
He had a really good sense of humor. He liked to play little pranks.
He turned the corner. So when did he change gears?
He had a lot of problems when he got to be a teenager. He got into the wrong crowd, and he got into some trouble, and he ended up in juvenile. He was only 15 at the time, and I got mad, and I yelled at him. Is this what you want to spend the rest of your life doing? Well, a couple years later, we went to Virginia Beach, and my oldest son, Jeremy, he was in the Navy.
He must have seen what the Special Forces did, and that's what he decided he wanted to do. And that was his goal from then on out.
There was no in between. He was going for the top.
It's the first time I had ever seen him really apply himself to something he wanted. But he persevered, and I was so proud of him with all the training he went through and how much it took to get to that point.
That's just a great story. I want you to understand that it's not going to be some portrait or painting, but it's going to be him. And that's the goal. You'll be pleased, this I promise.
I can't wait to see it.
Meeting Sean's parents today was a true blessing. And what I really uncovered today was the split, the change, the transformation, if you will, that he went through as a boy.
Next, Phil meets Sean's mom, Fran, to learn more about her only child.
When I started looking back at these things, I was awestruck.
Back in Texas, Phil and Lisa Taylor are focused on the portrait and presentation of fallen sailor EOD tech Sean Carson.
So we're presenting his portrait at the Axelson's golf tournament in Cupertino.
It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Donna Axelson, who's actually the mother of Matthew Axelson, a Navy SEAL who fell, does this golf tournament every year to help other families of fallen military.
I'm fixing to put him down on campus. All right?
Okay.
Thank you, though.
Alrighty.
Have a good morning, sweetie.
I will.
There were so many things that were talked about on the boat. Who he was as a young man, as a mature naval operator. I think I have a good idea who you are, family you left behind. And so I have to paint in that context. I wanted to make his portrait a reference point for the family. Not overwhelming with a big smile, but something very gentle. So I should have you covered from here. You're in my hands for a while.
While he was in California, Phil also met Sean's mom, Fran.
I expect this conversation to be something very deep. Gotta remember, this is her only son. This is her only child, so that's a big deal.
Then that's the last time, you know. And that,
Hey, what do you have there?
I brought a few things to show you. These are drawings that Sean did when he was in elementary school.
And he was drawing the U.S. Navy. That's kind of...
I know.
That's kind of ironic.
So
Okay.
I know. When I started looking back at these
Yeah.
things, I was awestruck because I was like, wow, it's been in our face his whole
The
life.
whole time, and it was almost like a
And
destiny
we just
thing.
didn't, right.
What was it? The uniforms, the service, the code?
I think he was like, wow, look at what these guys are doing. I could do that.
Yeah.
So,
How did you feel about that?
I was apprehensive at
Yep.
first.
I'm sure.
I knew that it was a dangerous job. I was very proud, but very worried.
So I'll have some pictures from Hawaii.
Sean met his future wife, Nicole, in 2001 while he was stationed in Hawaii.
Sean called and said that he was coming home for a visit. And he goes, I'm bringing my girlfriend home with me. I want you to meet her. We thought, oh, she's definitely the one. Sean and Nicole complemented each other really well.
The couple married in 2004 and had a daughter, Layla, in 2007.
He was very excited to be a father. And I know he missed her when he had to be away from her. Sean loved that little girl. No doubt in my mind that he loves that little girl.
It's a beautiful thing. What do you miss the most?
His eyes and his smile. I miss hugging my son. I would hug his waist and not let go until he complained. Like, Mom, okay, that's enough.
Being able to go through that journey with Barbie, with Pat, with Fran, they're basically empowering me to paint Sean and bring him home. And so they have my word. It's going to happen. I sense where you are. I sense it. And I got you covered. I got it.
Okay.
Before Phil completes Sean's portrait, he wants to find out more about Sean Carson as a sailor. So Lisa has set up a call with Mike Wilhelm, a comrade and good friend of Sean's.
Hey, man, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
I'm good. You got any nuggets or memories that you could share?
Yeah, like the biggest thing that I remember about him was how much of a team player he was.
Mike and Sean served together on Sean's tour to Afghanistan in 2012. They were both attached to the U.S. Army's 3rd Special Forces Group of Green Berets in Ghazni province.
Over the course of the rotation, he found 18 IEDs. One of them was a anti-tank mine that was going to take out myself and a few other people on the team, ultimately saving my life. So I have a huge debt of gratitude for him.
Wow, that's a powerful story. That's about as powerful as it gets.
Yeah. When both myself and Sean left that team of Green Berets, I was coming back home and he was going to support the SEAL team in Kandahar.
On August 16th, 2012, the Black Hawk helicopter that Sean was traveling in crashed northeast of Kandahar. He was killed along with 6 other U.S. service members.
It's pretty hard, seeing as we were chatting over email and talking about his return. He was supposed to be back relatively soon.
I found out about Sean at noon on the 16th. Chief Grote called me on the phone and said that Sean had been involved in a helicopter incident in Afghanistan. I asked him point blank if Sean had been killed, and he said yes.
Of course, the first question is like, are you sure? No mistake. It didn't seem real. It just couldn't happen. It's not supposed to happen.
It was the worst day of my life. There's not a day go by that I don't think about it.
Next, Phil is under pressure to deliver a portrait that will meet the family's expectations.
How do we walk away from this knowing that we fulfilled the commitments that we made to the family?
Over the next week, artist Phil Taylor will work around the clock on his portrait of Sean Carson.
All right, Mr. Sean. Hard to say, but I think you're probably going to take me about 60+ hours based on the size, scale, perspective of your face. No portrait is the same. With Sean, he was a unique individual. The manner in which you serve him through the portrait and its presentation have to be done with a sense of perfection. right, Sean. It's been a blessing to spend time with you, my friend, and I hope that I've done a good job for you, babe, and I will see you in California. You're signed up, ready to go, and you look beautiful. All right. I'll see you there.
Phil and Lisa carefully packaged the finished portrait and traveled from Texas to California for the presentation.
This part of California, in Palo Alto and Cupertino, is so pretty.
This is nice through here.
This is very pretty up in here.
The presentation is being held at the Palo Alto Hills Golf Club during the annual Cupertino War Memorial fundraiser.
There's the golf course.
Oh my, that's gotta be a hard course.
It looks like it. Awesome. Beautiful place, man.
When we serve a family, we are 100% committed to them. It's not just painting a portrait and taking it and giving it to the family. They are part of our family.
Hello. Hey, Lisa, how are you?
Thank you. I got butterflies in my stomach because I really don't know what to expect.
Don't really know quite what to expect. Very important that we take the time to celebrate Sean's life and the sacrifices that he gave.
I think as Sean's mom, I'm excited to see Sean's smile and his eyes.
I'm already getting emotional, so I know it's going to be extremely.
I always get nervous before events because I want everything to be perfect. Butterflies are always there.
You know, the kind of pressure that I bear at the public presentations that the portrait will represent and bring them to a place of personal contact.
The presentation this evening is to a very special American hero, EOD1 Sean Carson. Welcome to Sean's family and to the friends that have come here to support them.
Next, Phil presents Sean Carson's portrait to the family.
Before a presentation, you go back and you're thinking about Sean, the family, and you have to make sure no mistake can be made.
Phil and Lisa Taylor are ready to deliver the portrait of Sean Carson to his family.
I'm going to ask Hat, his father, Barbie, his stepmom, Fran, his mom. You guys come right up here. On behalf of all of us here he is, our American hero and your son, Petty Officer First Class, Sean Carson.
In the portrait, his eyes are so incredibly lifelike. It looks like he can just step right out of the portrait and hug me. And I could just hear him say, "Mom, Mom."
Phil is amazing. It's perfect. For that portrait, he'll be there in my living room every day.
Seeing that portrait was like having Sean right in front of us. It's so real. I think the eyes are the essence of that portrait. And it's definitely Sean.
His portrait, I think, met every expectation of the family. I looked at the group and I thought, this is a coming home moment.
Sean's dad and stepmom returned to Rio Vista after the presentation.
You ready to hang this picture?
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah, we put it right about 20.
There's a nail. I'm not tall enough for that. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Even looks better here, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. He's got your ears for sure. That's perfect right there. It's just like he's here now.
He is.
And he's here to stay.
Yeah, he's just
At all.
smiling at us.
Yeah, he's just smiling down at us.
Booyah, John. We got you back.
Yeah, for sure.
Brush of Honor is dedicated to the brave men and women who serve in our nation's military and to the families of the fallen. Thank you for your service.